Hey, friend. I'm so happy to see you. Welcome back to QALM. It's Carla Carrasco. And today's practice has to do with being blindsided. And I am sure every single one of us has had experience with this type of situation of being blindsided. Um, and actually, this practice is inspired for me this past week, actually the past long time, but realistically, a fair what I considered a fairly big event happened, and I'm going to share it. Um, I received a call last week on Wednesday from the property owner of where I live, and they want to double my rent, so to increase it by 100%. That was shocking. So that was definitely a moment of being blindsided. So blindsided is any situation that occurs outside of the story that we think we're living here, right? Like here I'm just going right along and then whack, something completely changes my life. This is life changing. And it it definitely had me go through a whole process of lots of feelings, but the main one that initially was present was fear. You know, even if I'm not consciously aware, it was like my whole body. I started crying, all these different things. I was so taken aback by this moment. And I'm so grateful that I have a practice. I'm so grateful that I've dedicated my life to peace so that when it's disrupted, I look into it. It took me a moment, which to me, it's these moments are because we're humans and we like timelines and things like that. This moment really was moment. It was less than 24 hours, but that 24 hours was really important to get all of it to be to the surface and present and allowing the fear to be there. You know, this situation was rocking my foundation. It has to do with this beautiful home that I've been getting to live in. And the shock uh, really is what I got to work with. And it also brought up other things from my past, similar stories or similar energies of stories. So with that, I do want to remind everybody that when we do these practices online, when you're not with an actual person or a therapist or a trusted, supported guide of some sort, we be gentle with ourselves, right? We're not here to scramble our brains even more. These practices are meant to settle and experience more peace. So remember that as we go into today's practice. So, and just as a little finishing up of that story, my perception, I spent the last since Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So for the last 4 days, shifting my awareness into this possibility that the universe really does have my back and that she's not trying to just throw me in front of a bus continuously, even though it totally feels like it, right? It's like, you know, my initial reaction was like, I can't take this anymore. What, what is going on? You break my leg. I can't do my work. Blah, blah, my life is changing. Oh, and I had a lot of moments there. Um, and they were all so beautiful and part of this earthly experience. And I think that universal unconditional love for coming into play after that day and reminding me of how she truly has my back. And I'm in choice. I get to fully choose how I view every single one of my life situations. And so do you. We all get to choose. And it just depends on which lens we decide to wear for the day. I can see a situation one way, and then if I put, some other lenses on, I can see it a completely different way. So for me, lately, in the last while, years, I I've been choosing the what makes the most peace and freedom lens. Where's those cute little glasses to put on? So, and it's not about bypassing, right? Today's practice is not about how do I fix what isn't, going my way, or how do I get back to where I was, because honestly, a lot of the times there is no going back. And so the what's really just left is how do I meet this moment the way it is in this present moment. And although we don't consciously maybe choose these redirects, right? Like I didn't consciously be like, I hope the owner of this property calls me up and wants to, add $1,000 to my, rent. I didn't ask for that, right? But I do get to choose how I'm going to walk on this new road, right? And I do choose the road of unconditional love. And it might take me a little moment to get there because I will be honest, my brain went into attack mode. That is an old pattern of Carla's, old Carla. I call her old Carla when she comes out and she just wants to make whatever doesn't feel good to be wrong, and not take responsibility for herself right away. So, yeah, I had to go through all of those moments of not thinking very nice things. And that's okay. That's normal, actually. It is just a thing. And so I went through that because, again, don't get me wrong. Some of these redirects are really freaking hard. Okay. And, and sometimes they're devastating. And some of them even bring us to our knees and with thoughts of like, how do I even go on? How I just want to end everything right now. So those are very real things that come into our energetic field when we experience these radical blindsiding moments and redirects. So yeah. And what I got to remind myself was, what if this moment isn't the end of the story? What if it's the beginning of this new chapter that I just can't yet understand? I mean, that sounds like pretty much most of my life. And maybe you guys have experienced this also. But it's kind of just like, what if? What if this universe really does have my back? And what if she is creating these redirects so that I can live my brightest, most shiniest, loving, trusting, beautiful self? And so that's the route I'm going to go with. So hopefully today's practice will help in some kind of way for you as well. So with that, let's start getting comfortable into our comfy position, and whichever one you pick for today, whether it be the laying down, reclined, sitting up entirely. You can have your eyes closed, or if you feel more comfortable having them open, just slightly shift your gaze downward to a fixed, unmoving spot. Tuning into your breath, beginning to slow it down. Noticing the surface beneath your body that's supporting you. Sinking in deeper into that surface with every breath. Releasing any tension you feel around your face, around your eyes, in your jaw. Releasing tension in your neck and shoulders, in your back, in your hips. Every single breath calming this nervous system and balancing the nervous system. As you gently breathe in through the nose and out through the nose as best as you can. We will do our first breath pattern of a 4x6, where we will inhale for 4 seconds with a slight hold at the top of the inhale. Exhale for 6 seconds with another little pause at the bottom of the exhale before we repeat the pattern. So to prepare, let's take a nice deep inhale in and exhaling completely. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Release the count, allowing your own natural rhythmic breath to turn back on. And when we're blindsided, the first emotion is often fear. And not because we're weak, and not because we're doing anything wrong, but because the mind suddenly loses its map. A moment ago, the mind thought it knew what was happening. Then reality changes and fear rushes in to fill the gap. And although this first reaction might be fear, fear does not have to become the foundation from which we create our future. We're going to walk through a process and bring to mind a moment we felt blindsided. And remember to be gentle with yourself. You're not picking one of your biggest traumas in this particular moment. These moments can include, but of course are definitely not limited to, situations like a serious diagnosis for yourself or a loved one, an accident or injury that changes daily life, losing a job unexpectedly, a sudden increase in rent or financial crisis, discovering infidelity, a divorce, or a breakup that you didn't see coming, a friendship ending without any explanation, a natural disaster, a death, a legal issue, a betrayal by someone you trusted, perhaps a business failing, or being forced to move, a pregnancy, a miscarriage, a parent becoming ill and needing care, a child or a loved one struggling with addiction, mental health, or legal issues, or even a person from your past suddenly reappearing. So let's take a moment and allow a situation to come to the forefront of your mind. First, we're going to acknowledge the shock of this situation. Because when we acknowledge shock, we are allowing our nervous system to be seen. So, sitting with whatever came up as your situation and sitting with whatever words, phrases, or stories come up in the moment. Typical things that might come up are this can't be happening, or this wasn't supposed to happen. Oh my God, this hurts. I'm scared. I did not see this coming. Allowing this situation to just be in the field and begin to show you these words or phrases or thoughts or feelings. shift your awareness and tune into your body in this moment and notice what the body is doing in response to these thoughts. Notice any physical sensations and where they are. And return your focus back to your breath, to the inhales and the exhales. And on the in breath, we're going to acknowledge that in this exact moment, you're safe by saying, I am safe. And on the exhale, we're going to acknowledge that in this exact moment, you're supported by saying, I'm supported. So I will say it out loud. You can state it in your mind or not. Just follow along. So, inhaling in, I am safe. Exhaling, I am supported. Inhaling, I am safe. And exhaling, I am supported. Inhaling, I am safe. And exhaling, I am supported. Inhaling, I am safe. Exhaling, I am supported. Inhaling, I am safe. Exhaling, I am supported. And releasing the focused breath. And in this moment where we're blindsided and fear rushes in and tells us that we are unsafe and alone, yet what if neither of those is true? What if this unexpected redirect is not a punishment? What if it's not abandonment? And what if life has not turned against you? What if there is a higher intelligence at work that can see farther than you can see right now in this moment? Let's invite unconditional, universal love in, however you like to address it. Some people like to call it spirit or God, the source, universe. However it is you want to address it, ask this energy of unconditional love to be present with you right now. And let's tune into the energy of possibility. The possibility that this universal love is still working on your behalf, even when the path is unclear. Sometimes support doesn't arrive in the form you would have chosen. Sometimes it arrives as a redirect, a closed door, a change in plans, an unexpected beginning disguised as an ending. And the mind often interprets the unexpected as a threat. Yet, many of life's greatest gifts first arrived as an interruption to the plans we thought we wanted. In this moment, can you allow for the possibility that this redirect may be carrying something for you, even if you can't see it yet? The universe doesn't always give us the path that we planned, but it often gives us the path that we need. Surrendering to this possibility doesn't mean I give up. It also doesn't mean that I approve of what happened. It does mean that I stop arguing with reality. To surrender is to acknowledge what is. To surrender is to release the exhausting demand that reality be different than it is in this moment. I'm being reminded of a prayer I created about 20 years ago when I first began studying A Course in Miracles. And the prayer goes, I don't know what anything means, not even this situation with, and you insert the situation. I am willing to have my perception 100% corrected. Please perceive for me in the light of unconditional love. We're going to breathe this prayer in, and I'm going to repeat it 3 times. And if you would like to repeat it out loud or in your mind, please follow along. And when we get to the part about the situation, you enter your situation, whatever your situation is that we're dealing with in this moment. So let's take a nice, deep inhale in and exhaling completely. I don't know what anything means. Not even this situation with. I am willing to have my perception 100% corrected. Please perceive for me in the light of unconditional love. I don't know what anything means. Not even the situation with. I am willing to have my perception 100% corrected. Please perceive for me in the light of unconditional love. I don't know what anything means, not even this situation with. I am willing to have my perception 100% corrected. Please perceive for me in the light of unconditional love. Releasing this prayer back into the universe. And we're going to close with breathing in this possibility that universal, unconditional love has our back. So we are going to be breathing in possibility. And on the exhale, we are going to see possibility filling every single cell of our body. So to begin, let's take a nice deep inhale in and exhaling completely. Breathing in possibility, exhaling possibility, filling every single cell of your body. Inhale possibility, exhaling possibility, filling every single cell of your body. Inhaling possibility, exhaling possibility, filling every single cell of your body. Inhaling possibility, exhaling possibility, filling every single cell of your body. Inhaling possibility, exhaling possibility, filling every single cell of your body. One more time. Inhaling possibility and exhaling possibility, filling every single cell of your body. Coming back into your physical body, maybe wiggling toes or moving your wrists in circles. Gentle, slight movements back and forth, maybe with your body or your head. Stretching the body in any direction it wants to stretch. Thank you so much, friend. And I do realize that this is a big topic, and being blindsided is really just a part of our existence here. So if you do need help, I do suggest reaching out to trusted people. Perhaps you have a therapist of some kind or a deeply trusted friend. And if you even would like my help processing anything or how to shift, reframe, release, let go, become aware of, bring clarity to anything, you can engage in one of my calm distance sessions that we would conduct over Zoom. And you can find out more about that on my website at carlacarrasco.com. And for now, may all the wonderful possibilities that this universal unconditional love has to offer fill your entirety of your entire being. And I'm just so happy to be with you today and sending you tons of love, big hugs, and I thoroughly look forward to seeing you next week. Love you so much.